on the beach. Number one, best portion size. And I'm sure you can tell us about the portion size because you were there. I haven't been there yet. And number one, best value.
Oh, the ice cream?
Yeah, Fort Myers Beach Royal Scoop.
They give very good portions. I've had a couple of different flavors. Always a treat. And
They're good. And sugar-free flavors, dairy-free flavors. They tried to write this up and tongue twist me. Coffee flavors, candy bar flavors, sorbets. You thought I was going to say sorbet, didn't you?
Yeah, I was afraid.
They have the incredible key lime pie, award-winning rum raisin bread pudding, fresh cut smoothies, and they are open from 12 o'clock to 9 o'clock daily. Ladies and gentlemen, how about a big round of applause for the brand new principal of the beach school? I always feel like I need to sit up straight and make sure I have my manners. Dr. Traci Kohler.
Well, I was afraid with your mispronunciations, she would be here. And
Did I say your name wrong?
No,
you were
in case
perfect.
you said the sorbet.
Oh, I see.
And I call it sherbet, so I had a couple hours in there apparently.
Please explain the doctor.
Oh, yes. So many students think that I'm a doctor of medicine, but that's not true. PhD in educational leadership. So did a lot of studying on what makes great leaders and what makes great schools.
And where did you go to school?
So my undergraduate is at the University of Wisconsin-Madison. Go Badgers.
Okay.
Woo-hoo.
I was like, go
somebody.
Not sure what animal.
Go Badgers.
Wait a second now.
Yes.
The Badgers, is that the team that Dawn Thomas's son graduated from, and now he just got drafted? Anita's favorite team and the whole thing. All those people live on the beach. I'm sure that eventually,
we find a way to gravitate.
Do they have red? Are they red?
Red and white.
I see. I think it's the Wisconsin Badgers.
Yeah, like there's no other team that wears
red.
red.
There's other Big Ten schools with red and white, but anyway, yes, we'll find each other.
So before I ask you about what a PhD is, of course
she
we
just
have.
Said that.
I know. Oh. We're gonna ask you a speed round of questions, Doctor.
Right,
okay. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
What?
Dog or cat person?
Cat.
Favorite TV show growing up?
Ooh, oh goodness gracious. Dukes of Hazzard.
Oh, good one.
Dukes of Hazzard. That's a brand new one.
Yeah.
Who are the three most interesting people you know and why outside your family?
Oh, I was going to choose my husband first.
Can't do that.
So
see, that's a no-brainer.
Oh, man. Okay. Three most interesting people. I guess I would have to say my neighbors down the street.
Okay.
They've done a lot of great things in businesses,
okay.
and learned a lot from them on how to make
You're
connections.
going into too much detail.
No, that's all right.
Man.
Next two.
That's what educators
speed round.
do.
Speed round,
push
Doctor.
Anybody else?
Gosh. Oh, man.
Three is a lot.
Dr. Ken Peterson at the University of Wisconsin.
Of course, we
Madison.
love Ken. We've had him on before.
And my
He's
other
a badger.
Yes, he would be a badger.
Good one, dear.
He
Good
would
one.
be a badger.
A little bit of a bell for you. Third person, Doctor. We'll try to hesitate a little bit, give you some thinking time there.
Gosh, probably my professor at FGCU, Dr.
He's so interesting, you can't remember his
he's
name.
my instructional technology person. I talk to him all the time.
I've taken instructional technology too. Yeah, of course
you
not.
need to take some.
What if you had 30 minutes and a tape recorder? Who would you like to interview? Can't be any of those three you just mentioned.
Does it have to be someone alive or
no? It doesn't have to be alive. No. We love interviewing dead people all the time.
No.
Well, so I'm gonna have to pick someone alive.
No.
It can be anybody you want.
Yeah, it can be anybody you want.
Yeah. Ooh, that's a good one.
Thank
okay,
you.
Can't be Thomas Jefferson because that's what John Albion said.
Oh, okay. No, Thomas Jefferson is off your list.
Okay, I guess I would have to pick Marie Curie.
Oh.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, she's
Marie
a scientist.
Curie, of course.
Yes,
scientist.
She did a lot of studying in the medicine field, and love to see
that was a good one.
Yeah.
What one goal has eluded you, Doctor?
A goal that has eluded me.
This is turning into 3 minutes, but it's fascinating.
No, but these are interesting questions. Well,
Thank
my
you.
latest goal was always to be the principal of a school, and now that I've accomplished that, I guess.
Yeah. That's a brown nose answer right there, but good one.
No, it's the truth.
Really?
It is the truth.
Swimming the English Channel.
Oh, good Lord.
I didn't know you were a swimmer.
You know, I guess it would be to go visit London because we had to cancel our previous London trip.
What is your most embarrassing moment in life?
So one of my most embarrassing, oh Lord, I can't believe I'm telling this story.
It's just us three.
Yeah, right. It was in high school.
Okay.
It was before a basketball practice.
Uh-huh.
I was a sophomore, and the boys varsity basketball team was practicing in the gym. And I had a teammate who was rather, I don't know, try to do funny things to people. And so she decided that she wanted to not totally pants me, but right in front of the boys varsity basketball team. Yeah.
Naked?
No.
You had
no.
undies on.
Yeah.
Okay,
No, she
good.
wasn't that crazy.
That would have been bad
But that
news.
was really embarrassing.
And I can tell it's left an indelible mark upon you because you came up with
You
that
never heard
one
that story.
really
Have you ever heard that
Yeah,
story?
'cause it's
Your
scarring,
husband has
right?
never heard
Yeah.
that story. How
They're
crazy is
chuckling.
that? Wow. Is there video of that, he's thinking?
No, not back in
I
the
know.
80s. Come on now. Thank goodness
can
there
you
wasn't
imagine?
any of that
You'd
social media
you'd be on
around.
I
TikTok
know, we
star
were
right
so-
now if that was
we were
happening.
that was,
We got
that's
out of
so
there.
lucky. Yeah.
So
Unscathed.
how
well,
har-
not totally unscathed.
No documentation.
How
That's right.
hard is it to get a PhD? Like how many years of
You
school?
know, it's really a study of persistence.
Yeah.
Because coursework, I'm one of those people who love going to school.
Mhm.
So it wasn't that the courses were hard. They were challenging. Statistics, 3 semesters were definitely challenging, but it was just persistence. And then after the coursework is done, I had never believed this story when I heard it, that people don't finish because it's just the writing portion. But it took me a year and a half to start writing.
Mm.
I think you're
What do you mean writing portion?
the,
What do you
the
mean?
PhD,
T
the
part.
dissertation part.
Like how long,
the
how
thing.
much writing is it?
That's a great question. Mine ended up being about
You see, you make a face and then the teacher says, good question, Ed. So no question is a dumb question. How dare you? say
She's
ended
that?
up
trying to be
being-
nice.
It ended up being about 70 pages worth of writing.
Like
research.
handwriting, like not even typing. You were writing it out by hand.
No, I was able to use
I see.
a computer.
Good
IBM back then.
Lord.
We're good.
And how long do you have to complete the PhD? Isn't there a
As long
time
as-
limit?
There is, I think it's 10
10 years. Yeah.
Yeah.
I
So I
know
paid
some
tuition
people
with no
do.
work for
You
a year
have
and a
10
half.
years to finish
Yeah.
70 pages? Like,
No, it's not just that. You
It's
gotta
a lot
It's
of
all
research.
it's
It's
the
everything.
analysis of the data and the research, and then your conclusions and your limitations of your study. And
so what did you write it on?
so the title is The Cost Effectiveness of Supplemental Educational Programs in a Selected School District, which basically means
That's a long
I
title.
studied the after school effectiveness of students participating in terms of their academic achievement.
So it had
Yeah,
to.
but I think that has some relevance to it. I mean,
Yeah.
some I think are so far fetched. You're like, all right, but that, yeah. So, what did you in the analysis? What did you walk away
the
with?
The study with the data concluded that students needed at least 10 hours in an after school program before you're going to see some academic gains.
And by after school program, and you mean an academic,
yes,
right?
an
right.
academic,
So like a
after-school
tutoring type of situation.
Exactly.
Like, and when you say after school, do you mean exercise and getting outside, or it could be? What are you saying? What is that a dumb question?
Well, no, it's not dumb. It's just you
Because
weren't hearing.
kids don't
No,
get
it's true.
exercise
We're
anymore.
listening.
Yeah, so it's really like an academic tutoring program.
Okay,
you
not-
need
not-
at
That's what
least
she just
you
said.
need-
Here,
that.
Need
you're
at
really
least
starting
10
to get on my
hours.
nerves today with
Am I
Am I going to
criticizing
have to
me.
split you two? I can
Yes.
sit in the middle.
Yes.
Obviously,
Yes.
proximity
It's
is
gonna
a
be-
changing behavior.
We're gonna have to
so.
stay after show today because
Yes.
we're in trouble
You're
from
gonna get
arguing.
suspended if you don't cut it out.
So,
you too.
So where were you
yeah.
before?
lost my
The
track
beach
here.
school?
Yeah.
So before the beach school, I was at Bonita Springs Elementary as
Okay.
the assistant principal. And before that, had spent some time in Collier County. I was an assistant principal in Immokalee. I was a coordinator and director at the school district there for many years. And then before that, a middle school reading and social studies teacher.
So when
I
you
think middle schools are tough. The toughest.
You know, you either you're molded to be that middle school teacher. I could never be a kindergarten teacher, but I could be a middle school teacher.
So when you see the beach school principal job opening and you're an assistant, do you look at that like say, oh, this is going to be a lot of competition for that spot?
One, yes, absolutely. And two, I'm going to do my best to get it because we had a school counselor that shared positions between Bonita Springs Elementary and the beach school. So I had some insight into
see.
how amazing the beach school is. And when the position became open, when Karen was retiring, I did my own research, started to look at data, started to look at the trends, kind of understood about community connections.
Mhm.
And so really was excited about the opportunity and then gave it my best.
Do you know how many people were up for looking into?
I don't.
They don't tell you that.
No, they don't tell you. But there was a lot of individuals there that morning up at the district office.
Okay, so you have to go to who interviews you? The school board?
Oh, that's a great question. So this year they did something.
You have to stop saying
No,
that.
apparently
you should not let people on to know that we have a little competition going because now she's not going to say it.
Oh,
It's a fair game until she's losing.
No,
Doc. She doesn't like to lose.
All right. So the district did something new this year, which I thought was really creative. They had 3 rooms that you went in and interviewed. One room was parents and a student in a community, not necessarily from the beach school, but representative of the district. Another room was all about data, achievement data, attendance data, just data galore. And then the third room was you met with the executive directors or leadership of the district, and you had to talk about some certain leadership skills and give specific examples of things of how you've grown, your school in terms of achievement and those things. And it was intensive, and I was really, proud when I got the call that I was selected as the finalist. Cool. And so very humbled.
So you've been down to the school, obviously, met all the teachers and everybody.
Yeah, so one of the first things I did was have one-on-one conversations to get to know them, what their own professional growth goals were. Learn about the history of the school. One of my questions was, what is one thing I should never change at the beach school?
What did they say?
I'm giving you a bell for
that.
That
is a great question. You got
that is a great
first time a guest has ever gotten their own bell.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yes.
Next time
Put that feather in your cap.
All right.
Next time you come down, we'll give you an apple.
Okay. Very good. They said the 5th grade students writing their names in the concrete on the sidewalk. So if you go to the beach school, you'll see many years of students' names in the.
How do they write their names in the concrete?
Well, they pour the wet concrete.
Oh, new concrete.
Yeah.
I see.
Yeah, there's slabs that are poured.
Now
they go way back.
Can I just ask a question?
I guess so.
The beach school, is unique. So what are some of the unique challenges or things that you're looking forward to about because of the size and that it sits in a small community?
That's a great question.
Thank
too.
you.
Oh, there goes the bell. It is now on the floor.
So who's the sore loser here? Go ahead.
Oh,
I'll ring it myself.
Well, what I love about the beach school is its size.
Yeah.
It's very similar, minus the Catholic school nuns.
Okay.
That I had growing up, meaning in terms of a small class to teacher ratio, the community involvement, the historical aspect. The building that I went to elementary school in was built in 1899.
Wow.
So there's the historical part of the beach school. I love everything about it. The staff there are invested. Many of them have been there for decades.
Yep.
And they're amazing teachers. They do what's right by kids. So it's really nice to go into a school and meet staff. And then, gosh, this past 2 weeks, I've met so many community members that are supportive of the school.
Oh, yeah.
And
a strong PTA.
Yes. And I had breakfast with them and we went over the budget for next year. And I'm telling you, it's like the best school.
Yeah.
And so I'm really excited to be able to be part of it. It's a dream job. It's a dream job with a lot of positive pressure to continue excelling in our student achievement area and to support our teachers in their own professional growth. So
how many students go to the school?
Just yesterday, 73.
So every once in a while you hear people talking about 73 kids, a school. Should there really be a school with only 73 kids? So, I mean, obviously you think there should be, but what do you do to maintain or keep a school open with only 73 kids in a county that has schools that are gigantic?
Oh, I know it. One of the things that I want to do is talk with the local businesses. When I spoke to the Chamber of Commerce with Jackie, we talked about being able to get with our employees here on the island. And if they work here on the island, the possibility of bringing their children with them. And then they would attend school at the beach school. So we can increase enrollment with some of the other, like Margaritaville opening up, when that attracts more employees as well, having them be able to bring their children onto the island if they don't live on the island and be able to come to school, working with the district to get some waivers so that families are able to do that. That will help us increase enrollment.
Have you said when you went in, I think I need to change this?
No, there's been some great traditions. I think so on the broader sense, no, but on the microscopic kind of looking forward, what's going to make our beach school special. One of my goals is to increase the STEM lab. So science, technology, engineering, and math. And we're going to take a look at computational thinking in the way to bring in some robots for coding.
Neat.
We're going to partner with FGCU to take a look at the quality of our water and the nutrients that are in there, and have our students really become aware of the environment in which they live. Engineering is elementary is one curriculum piece that really brings forth engineer think. And so having a special program like that, I think will really encourage parents in the community to talk about the beach school, to get people interested in the beach school. And then I had the fortunate opportunity to hire an art teacher who is a practicing artist, and she has the ability to connect to her other artist friends. So when it comes time to teach collage, we can bring in a true artist into our school to have our students learn about the techniques of collage, for example. So we have some unique things coming to the beach school. So
very nice. So
very excited about that.
I was thinking this morning that, you know, when season is or off season, there's so many unique people here that have so much interesting and experience in business or whatever, that would be an opportunity. I mean, I know safety of having people come in, but you know, they can be vetted, that there's just such a rich group of people here on the beach that could come in as guest speakers or
Sure.
volunteers, read to the kids, that kind of stuff, that you have not a captive audience, but kind of, you really have a lot of people.
So working with the nonprofits, I've learned a lot about those types of talents that we have here on the beach. And so I look forward to getting them through the volunteer process and getting them into our school.
So Michelle has a question. She wants to know what your opinion is on school choice.
School choice. Well, I think I'm kind of promoting the portion of it about having waivers so students can come to the beach school. So in that aspect, I'm looking to open up the enrollment piece. So
I don't even know, because I apologize, but do we have school choice in Lee County? I don't even know.
Well, students apply for like their top 3 or 4 schools, and then the district takes into consideration some factors, and then they assign students to their school.
So not 100% school choice.
There's always limitations with school choice in terms of the enrollment size of each school. So that's my understanding of how students register in Lee County.
Now, do you live on the beach?
I do not live on the beach, but I live in North Naples. So basically, I hop right on Bonita Beach Road, and I come from the south.
And you'll come from, yeah. Well, that's good.
It seems in the last few years, parents have been a lot more involved in schools and school board meetings because of the politics of what's going on in the country. Do you think that's a good thing, or you want more parents to be more involved in what's going on with the schools, or you want the teachers to just be, trust the teachers are doing the right thing?
So in the couple of decades that I've been in education, I've gone to many school board meetings, and parents have always come to school board meetings to voice their opinions. And what I appreciate is that parents and community members come to meetings with the best interest of their children at heart. So I never take anyone's concerns or approach to something as anything positive or negative, but that they're coming from a good place. And so I know parents may be more vocal in what they expect from their school district and their school and their children. Either side of whatever issue you're on, it's always from a good place. And there's a way to get your voices heard and then move forward in a direction that's, potentially agreeable to all involved.
Are schools doing enough of reading, writing, and arithmetic these days, or is it kind of start to come in from the fringes with
you're
other
dating
things?
Yourself with
reading, writing, and arithmetic.
Whatever. Teaching people about the history of America and things like that. That almost seems like you can get canceled when you say stuff, or not teachers and principals, but is it on track the way it should be, in your opinion?
So I just completed our master schedule. And we have time in the school day for all those subjects mentioned. We have time for reading. We have time for intervention to support our students who may need some additional time, or enrichment if we want to expand their learning. We have time for math. We have time for science. We have time for social studies. What I really like the approach when it comes to social studies is that we're doing a lot of reading and looking at primary documents. So being able to use those primary documents in a way to bring it through the reading coursework is something that's real authentic and provides an opportunity for students to have those kinds of conversations.
What's the difference in your previous job and now you're a principal? How do you change mode of management when you become a principal?
Everybody has always said once you sit in the seat, it's different.
Yeah.
And until you do it, they're absolutely right. So when you sit in the seat, you really get a great understanding that the buck stops with you. So, in the end, if there's compliments, complaints, it comes directly to you. So I'm excited because I can set the vision and course of the beach school with some of the STEM related activities I talked about.
STEM and STEM.
Yeah. Bringing in the arts. That's
Right.
where the A comes in. We have Fibonacci, and we can certainly talk about science and how Fibonacci and art can blend right into that. But you have the opportunity to set the direction of the school. So with STEAM,
I'm laughing because her dad watches the show and he says, please don't drag your guest into our political craziness.
So anyway, that basically sums it up. Being able to set the direction and tone of the school is very cool.
Now, what about testing? Because it's people talk a lot about testing and putting a lot of emphasis and on
Angst.
kids.
Angst, right?
Yeah. That's better than what I was thinking. And so right now, going forward, is it clear what we're going to be using this next year?
So we have new curriculum that's come in for our grades 3, 4, and 5. And that has come along some different tools from the state to progress monitor. So what we're doing this year is we're progress monitoring 3 times a year to really see the growth of our students. And then at the end of the school year, when it's progress monitoring time 3, that really encapsulates how well our students have learned the academic content from the beginning of the year till the end of the year. It will be on computer with the exception of science. So the company that the state has an agreement with is computer-based. So that'll give us our results much quicker. And we can progress monitor along the way to make adjustments and interventions so that we can reach all of our students.
Do you think the online learning hurt kids at all when we were going through all that COVID stuff?
It depends on your demographic. There are opportunities for families who have different kinds of supports in the home to be there with their children while they're online learning. And there are different demographics where families have to be working, even if it was during a COVID time. And so students were online by themselves. And so I think this past school year was our time to kind of catch everybody up. And in our elementary schools in the entire district of Lee County, we've seen some great growth in our elementary students' achievement scores and learning gains, which is what we really focus on.
Mm-hmm.
So I think we've kind of come off of that online learning, positive or negatively, and we're back in schools and we're seeing kids learn.
So
Now,
go ahead.
just
Yes,
ask,
go right ahead here. You're doing a lovely job today.
One of the other things, when I was down at Bay Oaks, the recreation director was talking about their summer program, and he must have mentioned to me, which really caught my ear 2 or 3 times, about the socialization aspect and how they really have an emphasis on teaching kids to socialize. One, because of coming out of COVID and being, home, and maybe especially if they're, a single child, but also with the devices. So what kinds of things are you seeing as kids' social development and the school's role in that?
Yeah. So one of the instructional strategies that I didn't say, good question.
Thank you.
I ended up with saying so.
The gig is up now.
I know. The gig.
Gig.
So
She's
one of
always
the
gotta
things
correct me.
our teachers do, and they do a fantastic job, is some cooperative learning structures. So students have specific roles in which they get together and learn together. It gives students the opportunity to interact with one another, to hear and see different perspectives, be able to give their perspective, back it up with things that they've read about, and have conversations. So I think the way that we structure school, of course, there's that direct instruction piece where students have to learn, but then there's that opportunity for them to apply what we learn. And then having those cooperative learning strategies really help students with that social piece.
Yeah.
that you're talking
great.
about.
When I was growing up, going to school in the horse and buggy days, one of the worst things you could hear in school is when the teacher would say to you, "I'm sending you to the principal's office." What is going to go through a kid's mind when a teacher says that at your school?
So if a child is going to the principal's office, it would have to be something that's an elevated kind of thing, because we have some great positive behavior intervention and supports at our school where parents stay up to date on their child's behaviors in school, whether it's positive behaviors, behaviors that need to be redirected through different platforms. Our teachers communicate with parents. So there's that opportunity to do corrective behaviors along the way, get it right away, practice the correct behavior, apply it, reflect on it. So by the time it gets to the principal's office, it's a little more serious.
So you got the yardstick ready to roll, right?
So I have what?
You got the ruler
No.
ready to roll.
Oh no, that was many moons ago with those nuns.
You brought the nuns up
And
before.
the paddles are no more.
No more.
So there's always been one question that has eluded me about schools, that every time somebody from the school comes on, they just can't give me the right answer.
Oh, okay.
What's the difference
luck.
between a number 2 and a number 3 pencil?
I actually know the answer.
You're kidding me.
No, I swear. So being a lefty,
Yeah.
I know these types of things because we have to be careful of the smudging.
Yes.
So the number 1 pencil is a smudger. So nobody wants to use the number 1. The number 2 pencil is like the Goldilocks. It's not too much smudging. It's kind of the right lead consistency to write. A number 3 pencil is a little bit harder of a core of lead, and so it writes lighter. The number 2, like I said, is kind of like the Goldilocks.
There you go.
You just
Of
made
pencils.
all that up, didn't you?
No.
Totally.
Made
How
it
did I
all
do?
up.
No.
So the number 2 pencil was the only one you were allowed to use on those tests that we used
Right,
to take.
because
Yeah.
it doesn't smudge.
I see.
But
The
it
other
shows up.
numbers are too light, so the number 2 is like the sweet
I will
spot.
never ask anyone that question again. Always have to bring in the principal to
There
know
you go.
about the pencils.
Those old Scantrons.
What do you want the community to know about you that they might not know?
That I'm here as a servant leader, that I'm here to take the needs of the students and the staff to heart first and foremost, and that I'm here to create opportunities for learning. And I look forward to the community support in that area.
Well, we do have
Thank
a
you.
question before we let you go,
Okay.
although I will ask away. Ashley wants to know why you think the U.S. students have fallen behind in the world rankings in science and math. I don't know that's true, but I'm guessing
Yeah.
that she knows it's true.
Right. So I know that there are other educational systems in the world where students are tracked more, meaning that early in life they create a pathway for students, and only certain types of students are tested in some of these international tests. And so the data is a little bit skewed.
Okay.
Again, I'll go back to the beach school, in which we're going to offer some STEM integrated learning projects that I think will really be impactful on our students. And, there's already great academic achievement here at the school, so we need to keep pushing it forward.
Jeff, our friend at Royal Scoop, wants you to know that he'd like to meet you and support the school. What is the best way to contact you?
Traci K,
Yes.
TRACIK at leeschools.net.
I think what he means is free ice cream for all the kids.
I know, I'm
think
getting a
there
little
might be an
excited
ice
about
cream
that.
thing in there.
Yes. Any other questions before we let the new principal of the school go? Otherwise, you can get in touch with her. And thank you so much for coming on. I know I had one more question, but I completely forgotten what it is. So thank you so much for coming
Yes.
on. Anything that we can do to support you, or just let us know. But
Oh, that's
good
kind.
luck there. And
Thank you.
yeah, and
Looking
welcome
forward to
aboard.
Welcome. Yeah,
All right.
yeah,
Thank
yeah.
you so much.
The brand
Thank
new
you.
principal of the Fort Myers Beach School, Traci Kohler. Thank you so much and good luck. Thank you,
you so much.
Traci. All right, everybody. One more guest before we go today. Michael Braun's joining us. But before he comes on, I want to let you all know that if you go to Beach Pottery today,